JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Tapa wins bronze, Jamaica's first female medal in sprint hurdles at the Olympics. Megan Tapa won Jamaica's first ever medal in the women's sprint hurdles at the Olympics after speeding to 12.55 seconds to take bronze in Tokyo. The national champion, who had done a career best 12.53 seconds in the semifinals, produced a late sprint over the last three hurdles to secure the historic medal for Jamaica. Tapa joins male compatriots Ansa Parchment, bronze in London 2012, and Omar McLeod, gold in Rio 2016, as Jamaican medalist in the sprint hurdles at the Olympics. Jasmine Camacho Quinn won the gold in 12.37 seconds to give Puerto Rico its first ever gold in the event at the Olympics. American world record holder Kendra Harrison took the silver with 12.52 seconds. Jamaica's other competitor Brittany Anderson, who had produced a lifetime best 12.40 seconds in the semifinals, hit hurdles 6, 7, and 8 and faded into 8th with 13.24 seconds. Jamaica's medal tally now stands at 4, comprising 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. Armed men robbed constable of gun and cash. Police officers from the St. Catherine South Division are currently trying to locate 2 men who robbed a constable in a section of Portmore in the parish on Sunday afternoon. The lawman, who was assigned to the Caymanas police station, was fleeced of his licensed firearm containing 17 rounds and $25,000 in cash. Police reports are that about 3:20 p.m., the 54-year-old, having leaving his farm where he had gone to check on his animals, stopped along a section of Grange Lane to correct a mechanical issue which his vehicle had developed. While the policeman made checks, armed men approached him from behind and instructed him to lay face down on the ground. The constable received minor injuries as he was kicked in his lower back by one of the men. Both men escaped on foot after the attack. Carpenter shot dead in attack in Westmoreland. The Westmoreland police are probing the circumstances surrounding Saturday night's shooting death of a carpenter in his community in the parish by unknown assailants. The deceased has been identified as 38-year-old Tyrone James of an Aldeer, Westmoreland address. Reports are that about 9:30 p.m., James was standing along a roadway when he was pounced upon and shot by armed men. He was taken to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. The Bluefields police were investigating have not yet established the motive behind the deadly attack. 2 killed in separate Claremont shootings. A brazen daylight shooting that left 1 man dead on Sunday in Yorktown, Clarendon, has ignited calls by the councillor for the Yorktown Division, Ufel Purcell, for a plan of action to address crime in the community. The deceased has been identified as 48-year-old farmer O'Neill McLean, otherwise called Hunter. It is reported that about 11:15 a.m., McLean and a friend were at the deceased man's farm in Yorktown when they were pounced upon by masked gunmen who opened fire, hitting McLean several times. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The friend reportedly escaped unhurt. Purcell described the murder as disturbing. On a day called Emancipation Day, a day when our forefathers fought for us to be free, it is heartrending and disturbing to know that persons can go and shoot someone who is just trying to make a living. He was on his farm looking after his animals and gunmen just pounced upon him, shot him and killed him. He said that crime has been plaguing the community for years and residents have been calling for the matter to be addressed. The Yorktown that we're hoping to come back to is getting worse and worse. Crime is plaguing the community and the citizens are sick and tired of it. Children are hurting because some of them are going without a mother or father just because of the power of the gun, he bemoaned. The council posited that increased police presence and a gun recovery strategy may be effective in bringing peace to troubled communities. The only way to curb the violence is to get rid of the guns. The gunmen have the guns and you catch them and you lock them up 10 million times and their gun is still out there and still doing harm, said Purcell. In the other incident, about 7:40 p.m., 18-year-old Jermaine Simpson of Buckner in Maypen, Clarendon, had just returned from a party and was securing his motorcycle when explosions were heard. He was found with bullet wounds to the upper body and was pronounced dead at hospital. As of July 29, Claremont recorded 56 murders and 37 shootings. 25-year-old Westmoreland man charged with murder. 25-year-old Ahil Russell of Pee Wee Lane, Westmoreland, has been charged with the murder of 24-year-old Nadion Dyer, who went missing with her 4-year-old daughter on June 5, 2017. Reports are that relatives reported Dyer and her 4-year-old daughter missing, and an investigation commenced. The police then proceeded to the house of Dyer, where her decomposed body was found with multiple stab wounds. The murder is believed to be committed between April 23 and June 2, 2017. On April 23, 2017, Russell traveled to the United States, where he was arrested for a crime he committed there, the police said. He was deported to Jamaica on July 29, 2021, and on August 1, 2021, a warrant was executed on him. He was subsequently charged for the offenses. Health Ministry reports 249 cases of vaccinated people with adverse reaction. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting they have identified 249 instances of vaccinated people in Jamaica who may have had adverse reactions to the AstraZeneca vaccine since the start of the country's COVID-19 immunization campaign. This announcement was made at the Ministry's COVID-19 conversation on Thursday, when the Director of Family Health Services in the Ministry, Dr. Melody Ennis, brought down the numbers following growing public vaccine hesitancy. We have established a committee. This is a committee made up of persons who look specifically at events that are supposedly attributed specifically to vaccination or immunization. These are whatever untoward events which may include deaths, disability, permanent or temporary, or hospitalization, among other things, Dr. Ennis said, as she noted that 249 cases came from the 305,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine administered. We do a classification of the cases that we received, and of the 249, we have classified 46 as serious. Now, the classification that we use is an internationally accepted classification, and be mindful that the persons on the committee in Jamaica have been trained. They are clinicians with expert training in a particular field, Ennis stated, adding that these serious cases went through full evaluations to determine the cause. Ennis said, "We have noted 11 persons that have died after receiving the vaccine, and when we do the full report, we conclude that 9 of those 11 persons' deaths were coincidental, so it was not caused by the vaccine. Their deaths would have occurred whether they had the vaccine or not. It was just coincidental. 2 others we have been able to ascertain as being indeterminate. You look at the level of evidence that shows that a vaccine could cause this illness, and we found that there was no such body of evidence at this time, and therefore the underlying illness that these 2 persons had possibly could have led to their deaths, and it was indeterminate if the vaccine could have caused it, but there is no such evidence at this time," she added, clarifying that the other remaining numbers that made up the 46 cases, including allergic reactions, and it's emphasized that all of those patients have fully recovered. In addition, she said, "We have identified 3 persons who we recommend, based on our assessment, that they should not receive the second dose of the vaccine. That there may be conditions that preclude, if you had a particular reaction after the first dose, once that assessment is done, we recommend that you do not take the second dose," stressing that with vaccines there are a number of expected side effects, and it's confirmed that these types of reports need to facilitate more informed decisions locally and internationally. This is the extent of our investigation to date. We continue to collect information from the field. We encourage people to report adverse reactions. The form is actually online for people to report adverse events. However, we do recommend that persons coming to us so that we can assess them, allay fears, and treat them if necessary, Dr. Ennis stated. 191 new COVID cases, 4 more deaths. Jamaica's COVID-19 death toll on Sunday reached the 1,200 mark following the confirmation of 4 additional deaths. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the 4 deaths include 2 persons from Westmoreland, an 84-year-old man and a 54-year-old woman, as well as a 73-year-old man from Hanover and an 83-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew. The country also recorded 191 new cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 53,428. Of the newly reported cases, there were 104 females and 87 males, with ages ranging from 3 months to 84 years. The cases were recorded in Westmoreland, 45, St. James, 39, Kingston and St. Andrew, 31, St. Anne 16, Manchester 15, Hanover 12, St. Mary 10, Trelawney 6, St. Thomas, Clarendon, and St. Catherine 5 each, and Portland 2. The country also recorded 39 recoveries, bringing the number of recoveries to 47,040. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.